In my first wedding as a priest, the groom was a buddy of mine from college, so I naturally had to roast him a little bit in the homily. I mentioned how years prior, he had asked me for dating advice. Now, normally guys don't ask seminarians for dating advice, but here you are, watching discernment videos. So here's some priestly dating advice, or rather, on how not to date, in order to more effectively discern if you're called to remain unmarried, if you have a vocation to celibacy. Maybe you're currently in a dating relationship. That's great. But you're not really able to discern celibacy while dating. I tried that. Eventually, my prayer and reflection made me realize that at least this relationship wasn't going to work out. So we decided to break up. After 4 years of dating her, this was the hardest decision of my 20-year-old life. But afterwards, I was left with peace and consolation, and God began to show me my vocation more clearly. It wasn't until after we broke up and I wasn't dating that I was able to see if I was called to religious life. So if God wants you to more seriously discern, He may be asking you to end, or at least take a break in your relationship for a couple of months as a sort of dating fast. If you decide that you should make a dating fast, I'd say it would ideally be for at least 3 to 6 months, potentially up to a year. And this is really only helpful if you make it a time of diligent discernment, of actively seeking God, praying intensely, and getting to know what a religious vocation is all about. A dating fast during discernment is essential for 2 related reasons. First, it can help you know yourself and discover who you are. Because in a relationship, we can bury ourselves in the other person, constantly busy thinking about them. So that means no unofficial dating either. Don't hang out one-on-one with members of the opposite sex. Group stuff is okay, unless you're organizing group things just to hang out with one girl. Take a break. Don't have long chats on the phone, especially if you've recently broken up with a girlfriend. Stop hanging out with her and calling her. You're just leading her on, and that's not fair to her, and it doesn't help you. Basically, don't do dating stuff if you're on a dating fast. It can be painful, but let that pain of being alone allow you to grow deeper in your self-knowledge and understanding and your yearning for God. And that's the second reason why a dating fast is essential. You have to make space for God if you want Him to fill you. If you're going to discern if God is calling you to a celibate life, you have to try it out and give God the space to fill you with that love. Very likely, you'll be tempted to get back together with your old girlfriend, or Little Miss Perfect will come along, and you'll want to end the fast. But that's precisely what you need. Those feelings will nourish your prayer. Why do I feel the need to date this person? What am I looking for? Can God provide this for me? Just like when you fast from food, it's normal to get hungry, but that doesn't mean you break the fast. It's the same with dating. Rather, let the hunger fuel your prayer. Let it drive you to your knees before the Lord in the Eucharist. Lord, are you really the bread of life? Can you really fill me? Place the ball in His court. The pressure is on Jesus to provide for you and to reveal Himself and His love. You're placing your trust and you're depending on Him by coming before Him in your poverty and your emptiness of being alone. But Jesus is all sufficient, and He can give you peace and joy so that you may be alone, but you're not lonely. Next time, We'll talk about what to do when you have conflicting desires. But for now, just ask Jesus for clarity on what those desires of your heart are, and if He is inviting you to be totally His.
I praise you, God. Precious are your designs. How great your creation. Marvelous are all of your works.